Welcome to the 53rd episode of the weekly virtual Big B Meetup. Founded in 2018 in Qatar, and in April 2020, the pandemic brought about its virtual edition. It aims to inform, to educate, to inspire, and bring communities together. It is inspired by the people of Qatar, both local and expatriate, and dedicated to my mother. This episode is dedicated to women in technology. Our guests today are three techies from the International School of London, Qatar: Catherine, Ariana, and Tasneem. It doesn't get more multicultural than this. Perhaps a girl band in the offing. Welcome, Catherine, and welcome, Ariana and Tasneem, to the Big B Meetup episode. I'll start off with, if you could please introduce yourselves, starting with Catherine all the way in Scotland.
Hi there, I'm Catherine Morgan. As you said, I'm here in Scotland, UK, and I currently am the director for a company called Immersive Minds. But as of August this year, I will be working with Tasneem and Ariana at ISL Qatar.
Oh, that's lovely. Ariana, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ariana, and I've been working at ISL since August. Currently, I'm the Minecraft education design integrator, and yeah, I grew up here, and I'm happy to be back.
Oh, lovely. Tasneem?
Hi, good evening. My name is Tasneem Qasim, and I'm from Jordan. I work as a System Development Officer at the International School of London, Qatar, and I'm very happy to be in this show today.
Thank you, and me too. Coming to Catherine, our guest actually, because she's not yet with us in Doha. Catherine, how excited are you about coming to Qatar and joining the ISL team? Two questions there.
That's a great question, actually. Thank you for asking. I am so excited to come to ISL Qatar and to come to Qatar. I've never been in Qatar yet. But, you know, since I was appointed the post, I have met with Joris, who's my line manager, with Ariana, who you see here today, and with Tasneem. And, you know, everyone I speak to continually tells me that ISL Qatar is like a family. And this is the overwhelming message that I have about the school. So I'm so excited to come and join that family and be part of that community.
I would agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more, actually, because I feel I'm part of that ISL family too. I know too many people there, and it's lovely to see a Scotswoman joining the team. Ariana, would you please elaborate on what you do at ISL? You work with students using technology for project-based learning. I'd like to know what is project-based learning first, and then can you shed some light on a particular project or projects where you have seen the positive impact of technology on learners and the people imparting that?
Well, long question, yeah. Well, what I usually do is I see elements of the curriculum which can easily be integrated into Minecraft, be it the learning outcomes or just looking at a unit overall. And I'll see what the teachers want to accomplish with that module, and I'll try to come up with activities using the game so that the students have a more engaging experience. And a project that I can think of that I was doing in the past month or so was for grade 7 for the math department. And basically I developed a huge maze where the walls were made out of graphs, like big graphs, and the students had to fly around and work their way through the maze and solve transformations and translations on these huge graphs in order to find their freedom and find a way out. And actually, I was very happy with the way it went because the students were so motivated and so engaged, and they were so happy to be doing maths, which, you know, like, it's not always the case. And I'm familiar with the students because I was doing cover before, and so I know the type of learners that they are. And I was really happy to see them so excited to be doing work, and they did they did so much. They got through so many questions in the span of an hour, and usually in class they only get through a few. And I think the staff, also the teachers themselves, were really impressed with their work ethic. And I think all in all, it was a really memorable experience for the students as well. I can
Wow.
say that starting out, maybe sometimes I feel like the teachers could be a little bit doubtful about how to approach Minecraft. But once they see everything that's possible within the game, it's actually, they really want to take it on. And once they see how much the students enjoy it, then they're really happy to integrate it into
What
classes.
what grade was this you were doing the project for?
Grade 7. Grade 7.
Wow, grade 7. So is there no, calculus is not yet incorporated in grade 7?
No, not yet.
Yeah. I had a tough time with calculus when I was in school. So we missed out on Minecraft in that time. Talking of Minecraft, I would actually need an explanation of Minecraft, but I'll go there a little later. I'd like you and even Catherine to elaborate on that, because I am not a techie. I'm actually pretty daft at technology. And I've even told your line manager, Joris, that on a previous event. So I'd like to go to Tasneem and ask you, Tasneem, you work behind the scenes. You have a very unique role in operations. Can you please explain what is your role and how you go about it?
Okay. Actually, I work closely with teachers to understand more about their needs and how to utilize technology to address and serve those needs. So my role is basically to integrate the various system modules to suit their daily and periodical activities. And I feel that I'm opening the door for them and I'm facilitating the usage of technology.
Oh, that's lovely. So we have 3 women here who work in technology and in education. And each one of you have a unique role and route map that you all have taken to reach this pinnacle where you are. I'd like you all to elaborate on how you all have reached where you are right now, and I'd like to start with Catherine. Catherine, you come with vast experience and knowledge, and where you are right now. I mean, I remember having a chat with you earlier, and you told me you visited around 65 countries.
Not
That-
quite.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
so our company, so I run a company just now, and I'll tell you about the route way towards that. But just so
Yeah.
that people don't think I'm responsible for the world's carbon footprint by flying everywhere, our company creates educational resources, and they're used in around 65 different countries. So what that means is that, often I get to go and visit different schools in different countries, but I haven't quite made it to 65.
Oh, okay. Well, you will at some point.
Yes, I'm sure.
So can you give us your route map, Catherine, and then
Sure.
I'll go to Tasneem and the tag team.
Sure, absolutely. So I actually started off, my undergraduate degree was in geography and environmental science. And my PhD is in engineering, in climate change
Wow.
and hydrology. Yeah, so I have this academic knowledge or experience that kind of spans the humanities and the STEM fields, science and engineering as well. So that's the kind of knowledge bridge that I have. But actually, it was during my PhD, when I was teaching undergraduate students, that I realised that my real passion in life is education. That's when I realised. So after this, degree and PhD, I decided to go back to university and learn how to become a teacher. Yeah, so I taught for a while, and then I did a few different kinds of jobs. So I ran an educational charity. I worked in the university. I trained teachers for a little while. So I did all these different things that really brought me to my current role today, which, as you said, I am the director of a company called Immersive Minds. And what Immersive Minds does, it's a really unique company. And what it does is it takes innovative pedagogy and curriculum, which is my great love, and it blends it with technology, with new and emerging technologies. And so what we do is we bring those two things together to support teachers in exploring the ways that they might introduce technologies into their classroom practice.
Wow, I just picked up a word that I don't know the meaning of. You said pedagogy, and I think I would pronounce it pedagogy. Could you
Yes.
please explain to me what that word means?
Of course, I can try. So my understanding is that it's a Greek word. It's the Greek origin is pedagogue.
Yeah, it sounded Greek to me.
Yes, and my understanding is we actually have a Minecraft world based in Pompeii. And so I learned this word while I was researching for this Minecraft world that we were building. And we talk about, the teachers, there were slaves, that the children, the very wealthy children, were taught by these slaves who were called pedagogues. So the word pedagogy, which I'm using to describe the sorts of approaches that we might take when we're helping children to learn, it actually comes from that original Greek origin.
Wow, lovely. Another word actually I need to know is technology enhanced curriculum specialist. Now, wow, that's a big term for a person at a school. Actually, I feel there's so many new techie words coming up in school. You know, when I was in school, we just had PE teacher, the principal, and your maths teacher. You know, there's so many new titles. So, what skill sets do you bring to the e-gaming platform or console, should I say?
Okay.
And what is your vision for game-based learning?
That's a lot of things, Bosco. Okay, so firstly,
I can repeat myself.
Thank you for explaining what my role is going to be. So it's this technology enhanced curriculum, okay? And that role is something like we just discussed. My current role is blending this idea of curriculum and pedagogy with new and emerging technologies. And that's what I'm hoping to bring to ISL Qatar. And then the next part of your question, I think, was really about my vision for, was it esports at the school?
Yeah.
Or game-based learning, I think.
Yeah, what is your vision for game-based learning at ISL Qatar, or in general, actually?
Yeah, so game-based learning is something that I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with, but just in case people don't know what that is, game-based learning uses the pedagogy of play. It's that word again, the pedagogy of play. So it's the idea that we learn innately as human beings, not just as children, but as adults too. We learn innately through play. It's one of the easiest ways for us to learn. It's the most natural way for us to learn. So the pedagogy of play capitalizes on that intrinsic motivation and that natural way of learning by taking different games and turning them into learning opportunities. And so that could be something like noughts and crosses. It could be something like doing a crossword. Those are all games that you're familiar with that are, you're using paper and pencil, or you might be using little pieces on a board. But in this day and age, of course, we have this new version of games, which is video games. And this digital environment that children can learn in. So game-based learning offers huge opportunities for the students at ISL Qatar because it is that innate way for us to learn. And a lot of the educational research suggests that there are huge academic benefits, as well as benefits in other areas like social and emotional learning, 21st century skills, and so on. So the opportunities for learning are huge. So I guess my vision would be to be able to bring the knowledge and experience that I've accumulated over the years and bring that to ISL Qatar, to work with incredible people like Tasneem and Ariana and the other colleagues that I've yet to meet, and really make sure that students can experience the learning gains that game-based learning can bring.
Yeah, actually, technology is already working its miracles here, because you haven't met Ariana and Tasneem, but you're already colleagues and working already together on the next academic year.
Yeah. We are looking forward to you, Captain, and we are so excited already.
Well, I am excited because I want to know more about this, because I am not a gaming person. I've hardly played an e-game in my life. And I might be one of the students who's going to come across and sit down with you guys and learn something. Absolutely. So, talking of career paths and explaining route maps, Tasneem, would you please elaborate on your career path? How are you now sitting on that gaming gaming seat there, which you're swiveling right now.
The nice chair. We call it the nice
Yeah,
chair.
it is lovely.
Okay, so talking about myself, I have a bachelor's degree in business information systems from the University of Jordan, in which my passion started for the technology. Unfortunately, I have never got the chance to work in an IT or techie related job field. Until I joined International School of London, Qatar, and I was given the opportunity to become part of this amazing tech hub team.
That's wonderful. Actually, that's a lovely thing to say. That you're a tech person, and then you got an opportunity to do work in the tech field with ISL Qatar.
Yeah.
I've got so many friends actually who've been. I mean, especially coming from India, every second person is a techie, except me.
So, yeah.
Yeah, continue. Please say what you want to say.
No, I just wanted to say that it's a learning journey for me, and I'm very lucky to be to start this journey with the International School of London.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a nice question here from Geraldine. This is such an interesting topic, and to have all women as speakers today, kudos to ISL and each of you women. Any tips to the younger generation who want to pursue a career in this field? Yeah, wow, that's a good question. I would like all three of you all to answer that actually. Before we continue with Ariana's route map, career route map. Since you're already talking, would you like to answer that, Tasneem?
If I have any tips to the young woman, I would say.
I mean, not that you're all three young women, but the younger generation.
I would say that there should be no limit. Either you are a woman or a man, but it's always like to follow your passion. And if you are passionate about something, you just need to experience and go through all the things that you need to until you reach your goal.
Yeah, and I would add to that and say that also to, not to be afraid to ask questions and to not feel insecure when you don't know exactly maybe what you have to know, but just sort of make use of the resources that you have, make use of the teammates that you have, and bounce off each other, because together, we'll know more.
Like, I did not imagine before that I would be here today with you guys talking to you exactly about this topic, but we're here and we are talking about it, so it's happening, and I believe it will happen to anyone.
Yeah, well, Tasneem, good. It's nice that you brought that up. I would give credit to Joris for that, because with all due respect, and don't get upset with me, I was coaxing Joris to come on the show, and he said no. He said this has to be a women's empowerment, pioneering education, technology, and that just shows how much of he's got so much of what do you call it? Credit to give you all. He knows that you're going to do a great job.
Faith in all of us, I think.
Absolutely, a lot of faith in your abilities. Ariana, would you, before I go to the next question, because we might be deviating, but before that, would you like to add anything to this, to the younger generation pursuing this career, Catherine?
Yes, I would like to say, and it's a little bit off tangent here, that I think the question in itself is actually really, really powerful, because it flags up this idea that ISL Qatar are giving women opportunities in a field where opportunities can be quite scarce. So first of all, I have to just take my hat off to the school, and like you said about Joris, it's he's in a leadership role, and he is helping to lay that foundation for people like us, right? But the second thing that I think is really important to reflect back as an outsider, because I'm not there yet, is that when I've listened to Ariana's story, which she will tell you in a minute, and I listened to Tasneem, and I listened to the idea that, they both have these academic backgrounds in technology, but they've had this winding path to get into jobs in technology, right? So it's not been straightforward. And in this role in ISL Qatar, I think what they are doing is they are becoming role models for not just the girls in the school, but for the boys too. And they are showing all of the children in the school as role models that technology is for everybody and that women can be leaders in technology too. And so I think it's really important to flag those things up about the school and about these incredible women who are the way showers. They're the people beating down the path today so that the children coming up through the school don't have to do that. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody to say, I think that's incredible.
Yeah, well said, Ashley. Thanks. It's a good thing I asked you to give your opinion too, Catherine. Yeah, Ariana, would you please give us your route map on how you've reached here so far?
All right. Well, when I was I just recently graduated from university, and this is my first job. And at university, I went to study in the Netherlands, and my degree was actually in neuroscience and biochemistry. So very much STEM. And throughout the whole process of getting my degree, I was very involved in using technology and coding for various different projects. But when I first started here, I was actually a cover teacher, so I was basically a substitute. And then randomly one day, I was just playing Minecraft with the students, and the deputy head of secondary saw me playing with them, and he was like, "Wait, you know how to play Minecraft?" And I was like, "Who doesn't? Like, I like playing this game. What are you talking about?" And he was like, "No, we can use you." And then since then, I was thrown into the tech hub, and I've been doing really cool stuff, really creative stuff. So I'm really happy about it. Yeah.
Yeah, Ariana, it's funny you said Minecraft. There's a lovely question from Cliff Fernandez here, and he says, by the way, he's a gaming guy, big time gaming guy, but into FIFA. I think it's the I don't even know what I'm telling you. I'm so bad at gaming. I don't. Yeah. So his nephew in Australia loves Minecraft, and he says he still doesn't grasp how the game works, but he sees it as a creative outlet. Would love to know how Minecraft would play a part in education.
All right. Well,
Can we get an answer from from Ariana and Catherine?
Yeah.
And even from behind the scenes, behind the scenes, Tasneem.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things that can be done with Minecraft. Definitely creativity as well, and like Catherine mentioned, elements of social and emotional learning. But I think, well, like I said, I had the students solving graphs, or for the younger students, we build worlds where they have to solve. So, for example, they have to solve certain tasks or do certain things. So we design it in a way that it solves whatever we're trying to teach them. So, for example, one of my first projects was to teaching the grade 1 students about the process of food. And so in Minecraft, you can grow and harvest food and then combine the products to make different things. So it was already easy to incorporate that into Minecraft. So we had the students go around the farm and talk to the farmers and get.
Is this all virtual? Is this all virtual?
Yeah. So this was all in the game.
So instead of seeing Tom and Jerry, they're actually on Minecraft and learning how to educate themselves.
Yeah.
Wow. And what I used to do is watch Tom and Jerry. I wish they taught me something sustainable.
It can also be used as a tool to teach them coding, especially Minecraft Education has the built-in code builder. You can do things like graphing is really easy because you do have this 3D space. So even translations in 3D space, or if you can use it 2-dimensionally, you can create. You can do linear functions. There's so many. Honestly, the things that you can do with it are endless. Really.
You know, with all due respect, I mean, I'd like to see this in reality on the screen at some point. So yeah. I know this is a teaser show. We've spoken about it because we're going to have another program early next year where we're going to actually have the virtual real Big B meetup, where we'll actually see VR on screen. You know. In person. Thankfully, there won't be a third wave of the coronavirus. But don't you think, because of COVID, this has actually catapulted? There's been a catalyst for the education through Minecraft. Don't you think it has played its role?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, also just the use of technology in general. I think Tasneem can elaborate, but definitely, you know, since you have the students at home, just sitting there and looking at a screen, I can already tell from my students that they were there was like a lack of motivation there. Things were a little bit dull and repetitive. And now when they get these activities, they're a bit more engaging. They definitely get more excited. And I think it's a nice way to bring some life into the classroom. Yeah.
Yeah. Another question I've been wanting to ask Tasneem and Ariana together on this is, and I've seen this over the past couple of weeks since I met you all just once or twice, but on screen as well. You complement each other, at work, and I'm sure you all are friends also. How do you all work on this? It's very refreshing to see two women at work in the office complementing each other on the same team. It shows a lot of teamwork ethos. Could you explain? I mean, give us views of both of y'all. Maybe a scenario or a day in the life of Ariana and Tasneem.
Okay. Actually, we are backing up each other always. So,
Lovely.
although Ariana is always busy with her walls building,
Well,
we're
isn't it?
always there for each other. And this is how things works here in ISL. So,
Well,
this is
Ariana,
family
sorry,
oriented. Yeah.
Tasneem, you're a techie, and isn't it the basic always back up? That is like, isn't it? So you have to back up.
Somehow there's always a backup plan. Yeah. Somehow.
No, you're backing each other. What I meant was you always back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, like we have like some unique maybe atmosphere here, so we are backing each other no matter what is the topic, but we are there for each other.
That's lovely.
And I'd like to add that also, you have more of your expertise about like helping the teachers, and you work more with the staff, and I'm more familiar with the students. So, we kind of complement each other in that way as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I'd like to know more about Tasneem. How do you work with the teachers? I mean, they are your colleagues, and how do you work with them? What is the day in the life of Tasneem? That's a specific question I have only for Tasneem, actually, because you're such a unique role. You're in the school. You're interacting with the teachers, the knowledge imparters. How do you do that? And
if you're asking me about my daily routine, there are no daily routine for me right now, because as I have said earlier, I've never got the chance to work in the tech hub, let's say, field, as I started my career in banking and administrative roles. So now I'm here, and I can see I'm coming every day to work with a smile, of course. And there are always unexpected things. There are always new inquiries, new projects that we are looking forward to work on. And if you ask me about an example, this reminds me of something that when we were transitioning from a system to another for report cards, I had an individual meeting with each teacher in the school because I wanted them to be comfortable with the system. I wanted to make sure that the process is smooth, because from my opinion, I believe if the process was smooth, then this will benefit to the whole school, teachers and students.
Very true, very true. Going back to Ariana, you earlier said about the positive impact of technology. Can you give us another example on that? How did you see it with the students?
I can give you another example. Well, I did some sessions with grade 1 as well as grade 3 students. So these are really young students just in the PYP, and I used what I knew of the Minecraft code builder, and I taught them to do different things. So with the youngest ones, grade 1s, I taught them to there's this agent, and you can program his movements and get them to code so that the agent can harvest the farm. And for the grade 3s, I taught them how to code a volcano and a volcanic eruption. And
hang on, Ariana. Are you telling me you're teaching coding to a grade 1 student?
Yeah.
Coding.
Yeah.
I learned coding, as in, I don't know if it's called, is PL/SQL coding?
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned coding at 21 years old, and I went for 3 classes, and I stopped. I said, you know what, this is going over my head. I'm gonna give it up. How? And I've seen even on television, I've seen programs that I mean, I've seen advertisements, especially from on Indian channels. They're teaching, there's schools for coding for young students. Can you please explain how this warp has happened in the past 15 years, where coding is being taught to children, and what will they learn from coding? If Catherine, you would like to answer that also after Ariana?
Well, so Minecraft Education already has this built-in code builder, which is a little bit more straightforward. It still teaches them that computational thinking. So what commands are available and how can they use those tools that they have in the code builder itself to solve what they want to solve, or to build what they want to build, or do whatever. So I just showed them a few commands. I gave them an introductory sort of example, and I showed them how the agent can like move forward and place a block. And I told them instead of place, you can collect. And basically the students take my example and I'm like, okay, apply this to this slightly more complicated example. And obviously I worked through it with them step by step. And yeah, I mean, it obviously wasn't easy because they had never done this before, but with a little bit of patience and maybe in an hour or so, they had managed to get the agent moving and collecting some wheat, and it was really great to see. And
grade one. I'd like to come and see those grade 1 children when I'm visiting school next year.
Yeah,
Bravo to
definitely.
those students. Yeah, that's fantastic.
No, and pick it up fast, because that at that stage they're sponges. You just have to give them those tools and facilitate that process. And I think Catherine can build up on that. But yeah.
Another scenario I'd like to see is in Minecraft. You'll also teach it's a vast knowledge base, right? You can teach children from craft to to making an aircraft, to building a home, even sustainability, right?
Yeah.
Now, you must be very proud of the forest school project. Yeah, that ISL is coming up with, the forest school.
Mm-hmm.
It will be nice to see the Minecraft working with the forest school, where you can actually pinpoint a location in the forest school and plant maybe an orange tree or a tangerine or a banana plant, or even a Majdool date farm.
Everything is possible.
Exactly.
That'll be some from Jordan.
Yeah, that'll be bespoke Minecraft work in ISL Qatar with their forest school project. I think Christina will be very happy about it.
That's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So coming to Catherine, we nearly lost her. She might be thinking just because I'm in Scotland, we don't talk much. No. Would you like to elaborate more on what Ariana said? I'd love to hear your views.
Okay, so I think the thing about Minecraft is really, just in case there's anybody at all in the world who doesn't know what Minecraft is,
that's me.
So it's a video game, right? But and there are lots of different versions of Minecraft, but the easiest way to describe it in every version of Minecraft is that it's like digital Lego. Okay, so it's this blank canvas where you have these building blocks that you can build anything you can imagine, right? So Bosco, if you want to build a castle for a princess, you can. If you want to build a forest with date trees, you can, right? You can do anything. So
how do you incorporate mathematics and calculus in that?
Oh, well, that sounds like it's Ariana's domain, but actually it's very easy because you have this blank canvas that you can build anything you want. We can build puzzles like labyrinths and mazes, and we can build tessellation, so the children could do mathematical tessellation. We can do all sorts of things, but really I think rather than trying to hone it down into how would you teach calculus or how would you teach language studies, you can teach anything you want because you can build anything you want. And Ariana put it so nicely when she said the possibilities are endless. Like the children set a volcano off the other day, right? So, and it made me think of a world that we have built. And it's just it goes back to Cliff's question, how can you use Minecraft in education? So there's a special version of Minecraft for education. It's called Minecraft Education Edition, and it's got special tools for teachers, okay? And we built this world around Pompeii. So we realized the world of Pompeii block by block in Minecraft and recreated it for the students. And essentially what that does for our students is, first of all, from our classroom, allows us to travel great distances, right? So we don't have to actually go out into the real world during a pandemic when we're not allowed. Our children can go there anyway, right? The second thing it does is it allows us to just imagine whatever timeline we want. So we could take them to Pompeii in the future, or we, in this case, in this world that we have, we go back to Pompeii in the past to a very specific moment in time, just before Mount Vesuvius is about to erupt. Okay,
Wow.
so we've got rid of barriers because we've travelled great distances. We get rid of time because we can go forward or we can go back. And the third thing that we do is we don't just throw the learners into the world and then say, watch this volcano erupt, isn't that fantastic? What we say, we invite them to go and explore that world. Go and see what the people are wearing. Go and see what jobs they do. What does the place look like? Go and talk to the people. So there are little characters there who tell stories and the children can learn from. Okay, so the third thing it does is it allows them to have an experience inside the world. And by that experience, it allows them to feel something. And so when that volcano erupts, Bosco, the children actually care about the impacts. They care about what happens to those people that they met in the game. And that, for me, is where the magic of Minecraft really is.
Yeah.
So, you have the children involved. They have this intrinsic motivation to go away and learn more about it because they care about it.
Wow, I wish I was born in this this decade, yeah, because we didn't have that in during our schooling years. That's how I wasn't too keen on mathematics, but I loved history and geography. Those are subjects I loved very much. We have a question here from David, but he's jumping the gun because I wanted to have my question on esports is, we have a lovely banner here running, the live banner. On the first, ISL Qatar has the accolade of being the first having the first esports league in the MENA region, Middle East and North Africa. Now that's a huge claim. I wouldn't say a claim. That's a huge accolade to keep up to. I want to know more. And who's going to be the first person to tell me more about this? And the question after that, coming to the question that David has is, as ISL Qatar is the first school to engage with academic esports in the region, how do you all hope to continually engage with the higher order thinking you have developed at ISL Qatar so far? That's very. I don't really understand the question. So
we can go there. I think I have an idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
But my question was much more simpler. I want to know more.
Yeah. Okay. Ariana, are you happy for me to start?
Yeah, please.
This? Yeah, okay. So very briefly, I was very lucky during last summer, during the pandemic, I was very, very lucky to be part of the team at Immersive Minds to develop the first ever Minecraft esports games. And my role was in leading the educational development. So my team did all of the research into the academic research we were talking about earlier. Are there academic benefits to playing esports? Are there academic benefits to game-based learning and so on? So we were doing all of that research, and then we were feeding into the tech team who were building out these worlds. So the output of that was these incredible Minecraft esports worlds that go alongside an educator guide that explores all of the benefits that come along with this for the students. So when I come to ISL Qatar, I'm going to bring all of my experience in developing these esports worlds and these esports tournaments to ISL Qatar. And just to give you a tiny bit of insight into what that might look like. So during the pandemic, we had to play test all of these worlds and test that, there are academic benefits. So we worked with a whole school system in South Africa. There were 200 children involved in our pilot studies. And they took part in these esports competitions, Minecraft esports competitions, when they were at home. So they were stuck at home and they couldn't get into school. And so they played these tournaments, they built these incredible, incredible things in Minecraft. And the feedback from the teachers, from the parents, and from the students was overwhelming. So we saw that there were academic benefits, and the teachers gave us information about those. But from my perspective, more importantly, what we saw was feedback from the parents, who can sometimes be a forgotten group in this, and the children as well. And they, one parent said, this has been a lifesaver for my child during the pandemic. He was depressed, he didn't want to get out of bed, he didn't want to learn. And actually through this medium, he has made friends with new people. He has got this love for learning again. He's off researching things that he's going to build. And, from the skills development perspective, what we saw were children who didn't really know each other come together, learn how to collaborate together, learn how to communicate with each other, learn how to give feedback, learn how to take feedback, learn how to strategically plan, to reflect on gameplay, and so on and so forth. So, we saw this huge range of skills being developed as well. So my hope when I come to Qatar is that, this league, which Joris and the team there has already got started, my hope is that I will be able to be part of that fantastic initiative.
Yeah. Actually, having said that, I remember a friend of mine, he, during the pandemic, his family couldn't visit him in Doha. He used to actually engage his daughter through gaming. They used to actually play games online and converse and talk. Instead of going on WhatsApp or on a phone call or a Zoom, they used to actually play a game. I think she used to beat her dad at the game, and they used to enjoy it so much. So that's a little bit of gaming that I know about. I learned from a friend and his daughter. Ariana, you would like to add on what Catherine said?
No, we can just keep going. I mean, what maybe we can mention is that we've already started playing sort of friendly tournaments, and we want to just build up on that. We want to start having more competitions, and I just like to say that for now, what we've seen is that the students are really excited, and especially Minecraft is a great tool for this to start, but definitely take it further with other games as well. Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely like to say it's not just the students that are excited, even the teachers and the knowledge imparters are so excited. I don't think I've seen that in my school days. My teachers used to be excited only when they had to take the ruler and give us a little bit of a stick on our hands, Thankfully, that has stopped. A question I have for y'all is, how has and will gaming change and continue to change education, and will it have an impact on your regular educational process? Because there could be a possibility, or I'm sure there is, where children will lean towards just e-gaming and wanting to learn only through e-gaming, which is good and which is bad too, I would say, from an old schooler like me. So let's go, Ariana. Let us get some viewpoints from Ariana on this, and even Tasneem, and then move to Christina. How has and will gaming continue to change education? Because I think you have a different viewpoint. I like your viewpoint. Everybody has a unique viewpoint.
Yeah.
Well, I think definitely it's something that we're gonna incorporate more and more into the curriculum, and I think here at ISL we want to have it so. By next year, all classes have at least like one module which incorporates either Minecraft or some type of gaming to engage the students. And I think there are going to be more and more possibilities as to what can be done, and already there is so much, as we mentioned. So yeah, I don't see it being a bad thing. I think the way that we learn changes throughout time, and I think the way that we teach should change as well. And I think this is how we're engaging our students now, and when you see the benefits and you see how motivated they are to learn through this, you actually get a much more worthwhile learning experience. So personally, I don't see the negatives, but maybe you'll disagree with me, Bosco, but I think it's great. And I think the more that we start to do it, the more resources we'll have. So yeah.
Tasneem, you would like to add something there?
Like, my opinion on this will be from a parent background.
Yeah,
to be honest.
fantastic.
So, like for me, I see technology. Technology is a tool that we are using in the 21st century to enhance the learning process. And as a mother of of a 5 years old boy. Like I can see that he started already with the Minecraft generation. So yeah, I can see this is continuing and it will make a lot of impact on the learning process overall.
Catherine, you have
Yeah,
you have something to say?
I have a slightly different perspective, I guess, but picking up on what both Ariana and Tasmin said about, this is how children are learning, right? And as Ariana says, as children develop and change the way that they learn and they evolve, we also have to evolve and not be stuck in the past. But
True.
as an educator, what I would say is that we have to think about the holistic development of the child. So it's really important to point out that games are just one tool, right? And we're not suggesting that we tear apart the curriculum, take away the pencils and paper, take away the whiteboards in the classroom, throw out your books, in fact, burn the books because we don't need them. Let's just use technology, right? That's not going to happen.
Thank you.
That's not what we're suggesting here, right? So games are this incredibly powerful tool that tap into our innate way of learning, right? That's what makes them so powerful. But they are one way that educators can tap into to help children to learn. But we are very experienced educators who know that all children learn differently, all teachers teach differently, we've got different preferences, and that we have a lot of needs that we have to develop in children. So we might use games in some contexts. Maybe other times, rather than using Minecraft to learn coding, maybe we'll use actual robots in the class. Maybe we'll be reflecting on what we've learned about that in our journals, which are pencil and paper. And then maybe we'll use VR in a different classroom when there's, chemical compounds that are too dangerous to use in class, but we'd like to see how they react. So we create a safe learning environment for our children.
What about students? I'm particularly interested in what about students who are differently abled? I've seen autistic kids who have a penchant for virtual reality and are really good with the iPad. So that's another avenue where you could help with children who are differently abled. Do you have any knowledge? Do you have anything to say about that? Any viewpoint, Catherine?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just very briefly touch on it because I'm sure Ariana's in the classroom might have other things that she's seen. But I'm going to talk about Minecraft, but remembering it's not the only tool. There are lots of tools, and we talked about VR there. But something that I've seen quite often with Minecraft is that it's an incredible tool for inclusion. And,
fantastic.
Like you talked about differently able children, and there are lots of different kinds of needs. But what I've seen with Minecraft and autism is that it for some reason, some children with autism find themselves very much at ease inside Minecraft. And we've got some real case studies and examples where we had a child who was mute, but who started to communicate inside Minecraft with their peers, and then started to talk to their peers through Minecraft projects. And we have a lot of examples of these sorts of things happening. So for me, technology... So
are you sure it's Minecraft? Are you sure it's called Minecraft or Miracle Craft?
Miracle Craft. Yeah, it's a great tool.
Yeah, lovely, because I hosted an autistic Qatari kid on my show, and he just blew me off. He was amazing, and he did a fantastic job on my show. And he has his own YouTube channel, and he was really good on his iPad. And so I'm like, I think it's very nice to see kids who are differently abled, and Minecraft is using inclusivity. Very important, very nice. Ariana, would you like to elaborate on any kids who you've seen who are? I mean, every kid is special. I didn't want to use the word special. So differently abled or neurodiverse is another word.
Yeah, I noticed that with some of my students that perhaps have attentional difficulties in the classroom, and oftentimes like zone off or can't really be motivated to even take out their books and to do what they have to be doing or concentrate, or they're always looking around. Once you give them these activities and they're really excited and I think it's a little bit more engaging, and it brings them into the task in a way that they don't feel so, I don't know, I guess understimulated or bored. So yeah, certainly I have noticed
Maybe Tasneem has something to say from a mother's point of view.
There is no limit. Like this tool is for everyone, and to be honest, for all ages, and for
Yeah.
it's just it will continue, and it will expand to all the students.
Yeah. You know, my next question was, where do you see yourselves in the next 2 to 5 years? But I'm changing that question. Is where do you see this technology in the next 2 to 5 to 10 years? Or maybe that 10 years is too much to see. But I think technology changes on a monthly or a yearly basis.
daily.
Where do you see this technology moving, Catherine?
You know, Bosco, it's dangerous water, because anytime I've played this game before, I have been so wrong. I've never been able to guess a tech trend in my life. It's terrible. But actually, I think I like your first question, which is, where do you see yourself? And the truth is, Bosco, this is the truth. If I do my job well and I work with my new colleagues really well, then hopefully there won't really be a role for tech integrators anymore, because actually it'll become an innate thing that we do. The next generation of children coming up will be using the technology all the time. And this theme that we have, women in technology, it won't exist, because, you know, we'll have done our job so well that, you know, technology will be a space for everybody.
Lovely. Well, I just want to I just want to warn you, it's 41 degrees here. So all the best, yeah? So you better stick around. Ariana, would you like to add to that on where do you see yourself and technology in the next couple of years?
I'll go with the technology, because I think maybe I'm a bit less predictable. But I would like to hope, I don't know how accurate I am in this prediction, but I'd like to hope that in 5 years we will see more of these sort of examples. We will see more esports leagues. We will see more technology being incorporated and brought into the classroom, and all in all, just facilitating what the students need to learn using technology. I would imagine that we would see more of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a nice answer. And Tasneem, what do you prefer? Where do you see yourself in another 5 years, or technology, or both?
Some from each, maybe.
Yes,
So
yes, absolutely.
For me, I see myself working because as I said, now I'm working closely with teachers. But I can see myself after 5 years working closely with students, maybe as well.
Very nice.
Yeah, to bring on the technology, and maybe I can even learn more about Minecraft and esports, so I'll get more engaged.
Wow. So that really shows that you love your job and you're really excited about it.
Yeah.
And isn't this a nice way to put it across to Yoris? So you actually told Yoris indirectly through Big B Meetup, hey, what about me? That's a nice.
The limit is the sky.
Very well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we are nearly come to the end of our show, but we can go on. You know, we can go on because we have great internet today. Each one of you exude so much passion about technology, and that's not just a question. I can actually see it. You know, can you explain its importance of having passion for your work and what you do? I will go with Tasneem first.
Sorry, Bosco, I didn't hear you well. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I can see a lot of passion in all of your work. You know, like I always say, I cash in on my passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, you got to cash in on your passion, but explain its importance of having passion for your work, and especially, you know, as pioneers of technology in your workplace, in e-education. It's not just any technology; it's e-education, which is fantastic.
Yeah, of course. The passion is something essential. Basically, for me, I would say that I come every day with a smile, willing to give everything, you know, to succeed and to benefit the school and the students. And to be honest, here we are all working as a team in this bigger family, which is ISL Qatar community. And I believe that we are all coming every day excited and open for new ideas and new adventures, maybe.
True.
And
Ariana?
Well, I mean, I'm in a, I guess, maybe unique position where um, I was playing Minecraft since I was maybe 12 years old. So
Huh,
for me,
that
it's just
explains. That explains.
like I just always loved the game. I always thought it was really, really fun, and coming in and being allowed, like, given this opportunity to do something bigger with it, do something more, perhaps more impactful with it, um, was just really exciting. And I mean, I sit there, and obviously I talk to the students and I talk to the teachers, which is also great. But I'm sitting there and I'm doing something that I've been doing for years, and I'm having a lot of fun. And it also helps me. So I'll have ideas and I'll get creative with it, and yeah, I'll just see where I see where it takes me, and I'm always just excited to come and see
Yeah.
what.
excitement is everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I can actually see that now. You'll actually look like you're in a Minecraft game because your background, you'll actually look like little minions in a game.
Yeah.
Very well done. Yeah, I can actually I can picture it now. Catherine, what about you? What do you have to say on that?
I
What the
think
excitement?
passion in your job is essential, because I think if you are really genuinely passionate about something and you really care about it, then, as Ariana just said, it fuels your creativity. It inspires you to get up in the morning and go and research or go and find out more about what you're doing. And I think the thing that you said, Bosco, is that when somebody is genuinely passionate, you can actually see it, okay? Which means that you can start to inspire the people around you. And so, bit by bit, you're starting to influence the workspace around you. So you go from
Yeah.
having a job to just having another great love in your life. And I think it's just so important.
Very true, very true. I like that. We've nearly come to our end of our program, and I can feel that this is not the last time I'm going to host you, wonderful women, beautiful as I may say too. I'd like you all, to actually give us your message of love and peace. But before that, if we can do a quick host, what I do is I give you all a chance to host my show, wherein you all can ask each one of us a question. If we could do that quickly, I don't want to miss. I don't want you all to miss that opportunity, to host the Big B Meetup show. It's pretty awesome. So, if Ariana would like to have a quick question for myself and your bestie Tasneem and even Christina.
All right. Yeah. Well, Bosco, I'll ask you a question. So I gather that you've been, working with lots of different people and interviewing, and with this big meetup. I wanted to know, so far, what has been one of the most impactful interviews that you've had, or like someone that you've learned a lot from. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
If
that
you
way.
want to
Wow.
share that.
Well, actually, I will still go with my program I did on Garangao, which is the halfway mark of Ramadan, and I had two differently able children, assisted by their parents. Of course, their mothers were on the show too, but they rocked the boat. They did a fantastic job, and I hosted and I learned a lot from them. And to never give up and to showcase their abilities, not their disabilities. So it was very nice. So that's what I learned from them. Thank you for a beautiful question, Ariana. Very impressive. You can host the show again. Huh? Yeah. Anybody else would like to ask? Look,
I would like to ask you, since we are at the end, I
okay.
would like to ask you, how do you feel about Minecraft and about esports right now?
It's mind-boggling, and it's very interesting, very interesting. So
Good, good to know.
although I'm not going to get into gaming because I'd like to play football on the field as opposed to playing it on the screen. Yeah, I'm a big football fan. I hope Wales are beating Denmark today. I hope my Danish friends don't hear me. But yeah, I'd like to learn more. I would definitely come in and sit down with Joris and the team, and I'm looking forward to meeting Catherine. when she arrives from Scotland, and then sit down with you guys and see how I could learn from Minecraft and pedagogy. Pedagogy. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, Catherine,
Yeah.
do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. I have a question for my new colleagues.
Lovely.
First, what I would like to say, Bosco, is that
Oh.
that experience that you have on the field, you could come to ISL Qatar and maybe lend some of your coaching skills to the children. So that could be good. We're all learners, so you can teach us some coaching skills. So my question for my new colleagues is, as you know, I am so excited to come to Qatar and meet you all. But you've been there for a long time. So what is the first thing that you think I should see, do, or try when I get to Qatar?
Lovely question.
Good question, Catherine. Good question. Ariana, would you like?
I say definitely go and rent the cars and go on the dunes. And I feel like that's really fun. And the quad biking, if you're into something a little bit more fast paced. But maybe you're coming in the summer. Maybe it'd be a bit too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, Catherine, you should try some of each. You should try everything. But if you ask me about the first thing, is actually to just go for a walk in Qatar and just see try to look at every and each thing here around you. Actually Qatar is a family environment, and you will feel it. So it will become like your second home, I believe.
Catherine, sorry, can I suggest something too? Since I've been living here for a long time, since I was a kid. First is get yourself a good air conditioner. Yeah. And second is do try the hummus at Beirut restaurant. Okay.
Ooh.
It's hummus. Yeah. It's a chickpea based delicacy, and you can have it for lunch, dinner, or breakfast. You can have it any time of the day, and a little bit of olive oil. And as an Indian, I like to throw some onions in it and some spice, and it's lovely. And there's a nice restaurant. It's called Beirut. It's an old restaurant. They just serve that as one of their main dishes. So you can't go wrong with that.
I will have a list of restaurants ready for you, Catherine.
It's one of my favorite things is eating. So this is amazing.
Yeah, and another thing, and Catherine, another thing you should try is dates from Jordan. Okay.
Yeah. I will bring you some, both of you.
Oh, thank you. This is getting better and better.
Yeah. So this is like a mini orientation course you had here. Lovely. I should tell the team at ISL that hey, this is gone. We've done more than one thing out here. So can I get a message of love and peace from you three lovely women, starting with mother of a 5-year-old kid?
5 years old. Do you want this? I want to pass this message to everyone who's listening to us. I would say that stay tuned. We are having more excitements coming.
Lovely.
So please keep on track with us.
Yeah, you can stay tuned through the website, which is on the live banner for the first ever Esports League in the MENA region. islqatar.org.
Appearing on the banner in front of.
Lovely, nice, very smart message. Have you done any marketing courses too, Tasneem?
No, not yet. But
wow. Well, you don't have to. You already have it as an innate quality. Ariana, your message?
I would like to just say thank you so much for watching and for all the questions. And yeah, I mean, to any parents out there that maybe you're a bit hesitant about Minecraft or anything like that, to just encourage your kids and see all the things that they come up with, and just and to teachers as well, to not be scared to sort of incorporate this into their classrooms. And thanks so much for the great questions and
thank you so much
for the support.
Thank you. Yeah, it was lovely. I'm so happy I had you on the show, and thank you, Joris, too. I'm going to have Joris at some point with David. Catherine, sorry, I don't know why I'm saying. You know why? It's because I don't have your names put up here. Catherine.
It's okay.
Catherine the Great. I always remember
Been
Catherine as
great.
Catherine the Great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I suppose I would like to start with just saying thank you to you, Bosco, for giving myself and my new colleagues this opportunity to be here and represent women in technology. It's a huge honour to be sitting here doing that today. And also I feel a huge amount of gratitude to David and Joris and all the team at ISL Qatar who have put a great deal of faith and trust in me being here representing ISL Qatar before I've actually formally met everyone. So thank you to everybody at the school really for your faith and support. And I know that the people listening, there might be parents, there might be teachers, there might even be students there. I really am so happy to be part of your amazing community, and I really look forward to being there and working with you in the near future. So thank you in advance for the lovely warm welcome that I've received.
Lovely. Thank you, ladies. It's so nice to have you all. I'm just going to end with one little mention is that what I said earlier, because it's really close to my heart. Sustainability is one of the 4 pillars of Big B meetups. The other is disability. I play on the word phonetically on disability, and I say THISABILITY. And the third one is sports and wellness, which I had a virtual real event at the school earlier this year on empowering women in sport on Qatar National Sports Day. And the fourth one is Artists of Qatar. I do celebrating art. So it's so nice to see this happening with the school where we're having the first ever school project on the environment. It's the school forest project. And I'd like to see if that can happen with Minecraft. I'd love to give some of my input there. And because I'm a bit of an artist, I doodle. I don't know if that will help in any way. So I'd like to sit down with Ariana and maybe Catherine and see what we can do there, because it'd be very nice to have something bespoke on Minecraft of ISL Qatar in the game program, On that note, I'll say thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves. It was a pleasure to host you all, and have a lovely evening, and see you in Qatar, Catherine.
That is so much.